Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a founder or even thinking about becoming one, you know the absolute soul-crushing frustration of the silent inbox, right? Well, today we're unpacking a literal survival map for Nigerian startup funding. It's a game-changing text by Dr. Ibi Ofre called Stop Begging, Start Raising, and it's packed with actionable blueprints. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with a really hard truth. Dr. Ofre points out that most founders do not fail because their idea was bad. They fail because they never understood the real rules of the game. Fundraising? It is not a lottery. You don't just pull levers and cross your fingers hoping for a match. It's a highly structured signaling game. And honestly, you're probably using the wrong tools. When investors pass on you, they aren't necessarily rejecting your idea. They're rejecting your fit.
So here's our agenda for today's explainer. 1. Assess your startup stage. 2. The 7 hidden paths. 3. Match stage to path. 4. Verify investor readiness. 5. Master the warm intro. And 6. Stop begging, start raising.
Section 1. Assess your startup stage. Know where you truly are.
Before you send a single pitch, we need to diagnose your true reality. Using Dr. Ofre's 5-stage framework, it's kind of like a staircase. You climb from just the idea stage, where you have no product, to an MVP with a handful of early users. Next up is early traction, where you've got consistent monthly revenue, followed by the growth stage for aggressive scaling, all the way up to becoming a billion IRA scale stage market leader. But here's the catch. You literally cannot skip these stages. You have to earn them.
Now this brings us to a crucial question. Are you overclaiming your stage? You've got to be brutally honest here, because overclaiming is the absolute fastest way to kill investor trust. A lot of founders who think they're ready for Series A are actually just at early traction. Or worse, they confuse "I built a website" with "I have an MVP." Trust me, an investor will see right through that in about 5 minutes of due diligence.
Take a second and ask yourself these 3 core questions as a quick self-assessment. First, would someone unrelated to me pay for this today? Second, can I show month-on-month growth for 6 months? And third, can I predict next month's revenue within 20% accuracy? If you answer no to the first one, you're still in the idea stage. A no to the second means you aren't at early traction yet. And if you can't predict your revenue, you haven't hit the growth stage. It's really that simple. If you answer no to any of these, you belong in an earlier stage. That isn't a failure. It just tells you exactly what to focus on next instead of wasting your time pitching the wrong people.
Section 2. The 7 hidden paths. Beyond VC and grants.
Most founders literally only chase venture capital or grants. And by doing that, they're effectively leaving 700 million naira worth of possibilities completely ignored. VC is actually the hardest and most dilutive form of funding out there, while grants are insanely competitive. But there are actually 7 distinct funding paths. You've got customer funding, friends and family, grants and competitions, accelerators, angel investors, venture capital, and alternative financing. Most of these are dramatically underused. From structured friends and family rounds using safes to alternative financing like invoice factoring, you have options that actually match your specific business model.
But out of all those options, customer funding is the absolute most powerful zero-equity path in the world. Whether it's annual upfront subscriptions or paid enterprise pilots, getting your customers to fund your growth is the ultimate signal of value. Think about it. If your customers won't pay you, why on earth would investors invest in you?
Section 3. Match stage to path. Choosing the right route.
Knowing the paths is completely useless if you pick the wrong one. Different stages require completely different energy and documentation. This framework explicitly maps your stage to the exact investor route. For example, if you're at the MVP stage, do not, and I repeat, do not waste your energy building a massive data room for Series A VCs. It's pointless. Focus on accelerators and angels using safes or convertible notes. But if you're at the growth stage looking for Series A or venture debt, you absolutely need audited financials. Matching your stage to the right path is the single biggest lever you have to stop wasting your own time.
Section 4. Verify investor readiness. Do you know your numbers?
Once you find your path, you have to verify you're truly ready for the hot seat. Because, let's be real, a pretty pitch deck cannot hide bad metrics. Investors are managing their fear of losing money, and nothing makes them sweat more than a founder who doesn't know their own business. Think of this as your readiness workflow. Monthly revenue and growth rate, monthly burn rate, runway, customer acquisition cost, retention, and gross margin. If you cannot recite these specific metrics in your sleep during a meeting, you are simply not ready to raise capital. Hesitating on these numbers? It signals that you just represent the business, rather than actually running it.
Section 5.
Master the warm intro, the key to the gate.
Even with perfect numbers, you still need to get through the door. And cold emails, they are the absolute worst way to do it. The ecosystem is flooded, investors filter heavily based on who is sending them the deal. A staggering 95% of founders experience nothing but silence. Why? Because they act like fundraising is a numbers lottery rather than a relationship game. They blast out hundreds of cold emails and then sit around wondering why their runway is shrinking while they wait for a reply.
Think about this comparison for a second. On one hand, cold outreach gets ignored, lacks trust, and treats raising like a cheap transaction. On the other hand, the warm intro leverages mutual respect, bypasses the spam filters, and signals strong momentum. Investors fundamentally fear losing money and looking foolish. A warm intro from a trusted network instantly neutralizes that fear. 10 well-researched investors approached warmly will outperform 100 random cold emails every single time. It literally shows that someone the investor trusts is willing to stake their reputation on you.
So, how do you actually get that warm intro? The golden rule is simple. Use a forwardable blurb. You want to provide a short, 5-sentence blurb that makes the intro absolutely effortless for your contact. Don't just vaguely ask them to introduce you. Give them the exact text containing your one-line description, your core traction metric, and your specific ask. Make it so easy that all they literally have to do is hit forward.
Section 6. Stop begging, start raising. Get the ultimate map.
We've really only scratched the surface of how to navigate this wilderness today. I want you to remember this quote: "The best fundraise is the one where you did not really need to raise." Raising capital is just a side quest, folks. Building a profitable, momentum-driven business is what actually makes investors chase you. The founder who keeps building during fundraising is the one who wins.
Now, understanding these frameworks is step 1, but having the actual Rolodex of who to contact, that is a total game changer. This is exactly why you absolutely need to get your hands on the source text for this explainer. The Black Book of Nigerian Startup Funding by Dr. Ibi Offrey contains 100 specific, real investor routes, verified ticket sizes, and the exact email templates you need to craft those forwardable blurbs. It even includes a step-by-step fundraising tracker. If you're an aspiring founder or you're actively building right now, buying this book is an absolute necessity. It takes the invisible rules of capital and puts them directly into your hands.
So I'll leave you with this final question. Will you keep playing the lottery, sending cold emails into the void? Or will you buy the book, grab this map, and finally start raising on your own terms? It's your call. Check out the book, implement those 7 paths we discussed, and start building the traction that makes you undeniable. Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.